Hello, welcome to Local Anesthetic Podcast, your regular injection of strange, weird, banal news stories locally and from around the world. This is episode 406 now, and as always, we are joined by Rob, who, as I can see him, I can hear him, so I assume, Rob, no power cuts have affected you since the last episode, or are affecting you now.
Yeah, so it turns out apparently that our local energy provider had been laying wires directly over the railway line. It was a stupid thing to do, Alex, and they've had a slap across the wrists from Network Rail. So there you go. Right, okay, but nice to have that cleared up.
Yeah. Is there any news before we crack on, Rob? Because I've got some good stories this week, mate.
Not as far as I'm aware, no. I think we can just crack on.
Right. Well, last week, Rob, I did have a story about a Florida man. I've got another one this week. It's from NDC. No, it's not. NBC. Sorry, NBC. Sorry. DFW.
The famous NBC.
Right. NBCDFW.com. From August the 11th, Florida man poses as veterinarian, performs C-section on pregnant dog that later dies. It's a sad story.
Okay, yeah. Why?
Don't laugh.
No, I'm not laughing. It's just more, again, more questions than answers.
A Southwest Florida man was arrested Friday for claiming to be a veterinarian performing surgery on a pregnant dog who died of complications from the procedure, authorities said. The man was a licensed pet groomer, but not a licensed veterinarian. They're very different things, Rob.
Yeah.
Now, your wife is a veterinary nurse or a vet?
See, she's a veterinary nurse, yeah.
But still requires a lot of training.
It's about £40,000 salary difference. It does. Right. Yeah, it does. I mean, she trained for 4 years, I think it was. But yeah,
right. But there's a big difference between being a pet groomer, Rob, and a vet.
Well, Alex, I don't think you need to be even qualified to be a pet groomer. I mean, anyone could cut a dog's fur.
Okay, we apologise for Rob offending all the dog.
No, don't apologise.
The bulk of our listeners are pet groomers, Rob. What are you doing?
You're right, Alex, you're right. I apologise to the pet groomers. I hope your business is going okay.
The 61-year-old Collier County man was charged with animal abuse and practiced veterinary medicine without a licence, so it's a specific charge.
Fun.
The 6-year-old Chihuahua named Sugar died following the surgery in May. Sugar's owners have been introduced to the man as a veterinarian and reached out to him because the 6-pound dog appeared to be having difficulty delivering her puppies. The man came to the owner's home and performed a C-section on Sugar in a converted ambulance. He removed...
Sorry. What does that mean, Alex?
I don't know. Fuck knows. Do you want to speculate? I mean, God.
Just a caravan with ambulance paid on the side? Who knows? It could be fucking anything.
He removed a stillborn puppy and charged $600, according to the sheriff's office. After Sugar became ill from an infection a week later, her owners took her to an emergency pet hospital, where staff told her the incision was closed with a string or thread instead of standard suture material. So he just sort of used some...
Hang on, are you telling me that he actually managed to remove a puppy from this dog? The dog must have actually...
Stillborn,
yeah, okay. But then the dog must have survived. How has he learned to do this?
Well, he didn't. Rob, this dog died because he basically just stitched her up with like thread.
Yeah, but Alex, I wouldn't even know. The only thing I can think of, he was literally there, just like he was in the back of his ambulance with like a YouTube video.
Yeah, YouTube video, yeah.
Yeah. And then just use some, like, I don't know, dental floss or something.
Yeah, I did spinal surgery once watching a YouTube video. Wasn't that hard?
I don't think you should admit to that.
A doctor at the emergency pet hospital told detectives a C-section is not an uncommon surgery on pregnant dogs, and that had a qualified veterinarian perform the procedure on Sugar, she likely would have survived. The man's case hadn't yet been placed in an electronic docket at the Collier County Court Clerk's office, so it's unknown if he had an attorney who would comment. I love that. If he does have an attorney, Rob, it's got to be that guy from The Simpsons. What's his name?
Yeah,
Lionel
Hutz.
Yeah. Right. Let's move to clickondetroit.com.
Okay.
Again, United States. This is by... no, there's no journalist. Is there a journalist? No. Yes, Dane Kelly from August the 29th. Teen accused of biting Necto employee's testicles after being denied entrance.
Sure, okay. Yeah, I mean, we all get angry.
You ever bit somebody's testicles, Rob?
Only for a bet.
Right. So this is Ann Arbor, Michigan. A teen was taken into custody in Ann Arbor Saturday after he reportedly bit a nightclub employee's testicles. According to authorities, Gino Hearn, a 19-year-old from Detroit, reportedly punched a Necto employee in the face after he was denied entrance just before midnight. What is Necto? Is it some sort
I assume it's a club. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So he punched them.
Originally, I thought he said nectars and like nectar points.
No. He reportedly punched a Necto employee in the face after he was denied entrance. When police placed the man in handcuffs, he resisted and caused injuries to a police officer's fingers. 2 employees were bitten by the man, including a 20-year-old who was taken to hospital for treatment. And the employee told police that the suspect had grabbed his testicles and bitten into them.
How did he have access? I mean, I'm assuming he was on the floor at this point in time. I don't understand how he was at the right level.
You could bite testicles, couldn't you, through the even through like a pair of jeans, I would assume, or trousers. I don't know.
I'd imagine. I think if I was drunk, could I find a pair of testicles through a pair of trousers? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're right.
Right, Rob, let's get to a good old classic local anaesthetic news story, Rob. But this is actually quite a serious story, so I don't want you to laugh or, treat it.
It's when you say that.
No, I mean it with this one, Rob. Don't be flippant.
Okay.
This is a UK-based story from the Telegraph and Argus, which we must have featured before.
Yes, Brighton, isn't it? I think.
Well, no, because I thought that was just the Brighton Argus. I don't know what the Telegraph and Argus is. It seems to be, it covers places like Bradford, Keighley, Ayr Valley.
Oh,
Yorkshire. Yeah.
Okay.
It's by Andrew Goldman. Okay, Rob. From the 30th of August, Liam Brown admits to having...
Right, when you're laughing, this is going to be great.
No, Rob, I had something in my throat. That was a cough.
Sure. Okay. Do you want to try again?
Yeah, can we just treat this properly? Liam Brown admits to having sex with a cow at Burton Farm.
At least he admitted it.
Now, this guy, he's a young guy, Rob. He's 25.
What?
Yeah.
What?
He could have been dogging by around the back of Big Baps.
Exactly.
If you're that desperate for sex, do it that way.
Was it a particularly, good-looking cow? Is that the problem?
Oh, we'll find out. A man was caught. Oh God, caught, Rob.
How would you even start to explain that?
We've also had a few stories. Listeners, we were talking about a database, I think, last week. We've also had a few stories over the years featuring people having sex with animals. But obviously, there was Sasha the dog, Rob. That story goes down in infamy. How, by the way, when we did our 400th episode, how the hell did your friend Pete not mention the Sasha the dog story as one of his favourites?
I had exactly the same thought, actually. And even,
did you ask him?
No, I didn't. And I mean, we could do it now. No, but I also have memory.
We've got a podcast to record, Rob. Maybe after.
Yeah, fair. Good point. I also seem to remember there was a story many, many years ago of an old man who was caught in the field having sex with a with a cow. Do
you remember that person who was found in the stable with his pants around his ankles and he was shagging the horse?
Yes, I do seem to remember that. I just. And look, I know that there is legitimate condition or that people are sexually attracted to animals.
Is that right? Oh, I didn't know that.
I could be making that up. Is that just bestiality?
Yeah. I don't think
that's a medical condition.
A man... Oh, God, Rob, this gets worse. A man was caught having sex with a cow after triggering an alarm set up by farmers who suspected their livestock were being abused.
Oh, my God. So he's obviously a serial abuser as well.
So Liam Brown, 25, sneaked onto a farm in Burton near Christchurch. Where is this? No, it can't be. Oh, it is. It's Christchurch, down where my parents live. Fucking hell. Yeah, fuck. Oh, okay. God. So sorry, Liam Brown, 25, sneaked onto a farm in Burton near Christchurch in the dead of the night to commit the disturbing act. But he was detected by the farm surveillance and found on the premises by farmers who rushed to the scene, Rob. Angry farmers. These poor farmers, okay, they get these alerts that someone is interfering with their livestock, okay? You don't need to be an animal owner to be outraged by this. So, if I came home one day and found that, I don't know, someone was interfering with my cat, I would be outraged. Hello? I didn't do anything to your fucking cat. I didn't imply you did, Alex. I'm just saying. If that had hypothetically happened. Let's get back to this story, Rob. It gets worse, right? So basically, he's detected by the farm surveillance. and found on the premises by farmers who rushed to the scene. A DNA sample taken from the calf proved intercourse had taken place on June the 12th, 2022.
Is it worse that it's a calf? I don't know why that feels even more grubby.
There's not much to say, really, Rob. Brown sobbed as he pleaded guilty to sexual penetration with a living animal. Oh, which is a good episode title.
Oh, God, that on your permanent record. Sexual penetration with a living animal. Yeah, that's the thing.
Imagine in that job interview. So, Liam, there's obviously, we've got to mention it. Can you just talk to me about the, what does it say here? The sexual penetration with a living animal?
You just imagine if you'd ace the interview and just like, Liam, thank you so much for coming today. I think you scored very highly on all the tests we set for you, and your interview went extremely well. There is just one small matter I need to ask about. Do you shag cows? Is that right? So that was flippant. I apologise.
The case has been transferred to Bournemouth Crown Court for sentencing, and he may face a custodial sentence. Prosecuting Charles Nightingale, which is a great name, said the farm off Martins Hill Lane had installed alarms and other surveillance equipment after becoming concerned about the welfare of their young livestock. He said God. Brown had been known to the farmer since he was a child because some of his family members were previously employed at the farm. This is getting really dark, Rob.
So he had prior knowledge of these animals, Alex. Okay.
Knowledge in the biblical sense.
Well, now I come to think it, yes, I probably am.
Mr. Nightingale said the defendant was found by members of the farming family who had concerns regarding the welfare of the young livestock in question and set up alarms in the area. On the night in question, they were alerted by alarms and equipment they had set up, with the result that the defendant was found. What do you think these things were? Do you think it was like those, like sort of tripwires and shit like that? Or like there was a sensor? I don't know, like...
I imagine there's probably like a motion sensor, but what I really hope is that they really went over the top with the alarm. So, like floodlights come on, there's like a blaring alarm, like, I don't know what, maybe like some sort of net, maybe.
Or they set up a fake cow that's not real.
Oh, brilliant. It has one of the farmers inside. He was fully dressed, obviously. The farmer would be fully dressed inside the cow, just to make that clear.
The court heard that Brown had no previous convictions and had not returned to the farm since the incident. Well, you wouldn't.
Well, that's probably wise. That's probably wise. He might lose a leg.
Hey, all right, guys. Just next. Hey, all right, guys. Hey.
Is Daisy around at all?
Mr. Nightingale added the family who owned the farm want him nowhere near it. Defending. Now that's a job and a half to defend this guy.
Is there a special practice in this country that has an expertise in defending against people who has sex with animals? I'd love to know that.
Okay, Rob, you got some stories for us.
Yes. So my first story, Alex, I just felt I needed to bring this to your attention. So this is from BBC News. It is hot off the press. We have talked about your love for Burger King on this podcast before. I'm hoping you haven't seen this story, but because apparently Burger King are going to court. Are you aware of this?
America. Yeah, because people are saying that they're lying or something about the amount of beef that's in their patties.
Yeah, so according to this story, Burger King must face a lawsuit that alleges its Whopper burger, which of course you love, appears larger on its menus than it is in reality.
What the fuck do you expect? It's called marketing. I mean, for God's sake, what if it... Oh, jeez.
Alex,
I'm with Burger King.
We're living in a cost of living crisis at the moment. When I pay for a Whopper, I want a burger that's going to fit that description. I think that's fair to say.
You don't want to be told a Whopper.
Exactly that. So the class action lawsuit against Burger King alleged that the Whopper was meant to look 35% larger, which is quite considerable, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. More than double the amount of meat compared to what was actually served to customers. I'm not going to go into any more details, but I felt I just need to bring that to attention.
It won't stop me buying a Whopper. I mean, I'm not buying the fucking picture, I'm buying the actual burger. Imagine somebody going up to the counter going, excuse me, I've just done some measurements and this patty is clearly 35% less big than the one in your picture. And the look on on the person's face.
Yeah, as you realise they've been rumbled. That's right, Alex, yeah.
Oh, right.
Their charade has been found out at last.
Okay. Right, Rob, I need to ask you a question.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with this sort of handyman. It does him a disservice. He's much more than that, but he's a guy who's been doing stuff with us in the house who I know really well. And he was extolling again to me the virtues of Wimpy.
Right.
And I want to check about... No, he was. He was saying that it is better than like your regular sort of takeaway burger. Like, when did you last have a Wimpy?
Well, we've talked about this though. During lockdown, Alex, that was the last time. So
was it good?
3 years ago?
I've heard it's a lot better than a kind of McDonald's or whatever. It's a proper burger.
Well, I don't know, because I feel that it would be a different experience if we sat in the restaurant. Because obviously, the Wimpy we got was obviously, as I said, during COVID, so we had to take it away.
So I'll try a sit-down Wimpy. I'll try a sit-down Wimpy and I'll report back.
Yeah, please do. Also, have you been to Five Guys yet?
No.
Right, okay, well, that's fine. So my second story is from NBC News. It is from the 9th of August by Chantel De Silva. There is a video which I haven't watched actually. Oh, no, that's a video of something very different. That's probably why I haven't watched it. Anyway, the headline is "Help Me, Jesus!" Hawk appears to drop snake on woman before attacking her to get it back.
That's a fucking unfortunate sequence of events, isn't it?
Yes, it absolutely is.
Very bewildering for the woman, I assume.
I would imagine so. Which is, actually the word they used in the sex sentence.
What's Jesus got to do with this?
Well, I
assume that's what the woman shouted.
I think so, unless there was maybe someone called Jesus nearby, I don't know. So it turns out snakes don't need a plane to fall from the sky. In a bewildering series of events, a Texas woman was injured after a hawk appeared to drop a snake on her before swooping down and launching an attack in an attempt to recover its prey.
Give me back my snake.
Yeah, I mean, Alex, the worst thing going to happen... This can only happen in the US, it feels. Because in this country, the worst that's going to happen is, a black bird will drop a worm on your head and then may shit on you to try and get it back. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that happened to me and it was distressing.
Yeah, it would be. Of course it would. So Peggy Jones was mowing her lawn in Silsbee, about 100 miles northeast of Houston, when out of nowhere, a snake plummeted from the sky before landing on her arm and wrapping itself around her limb. As the snake tightened around her arm, a hawk suddenly swooped down from above and started attacking Jones as it tried to pry the serpent away from her. I mean,
if you're just mowing your lawn and this comes out of nowhere,
yeah,
you're going to have some kind of PTSD afterwards, I would think.
Yeah, so all you're trying to do is you mow your lawn, you're just trying to get your line straight, then suddenly a snake lands on your arm out of midair.
Yep.
Wraps itself around your arm, so potentially cutting off circulation. And as you're trying to pry this snake off your arm, you get attacked by a hawk. It's enduring, Alex. The snake was squeezing so hard, and I was waving my arms in the air. And then this hawk swooped down, clawing at my other arm. Jones, who did not immediately respond to a request for comment, don't know why, told NBC News, I just kept saying, help me, Jesus, she said.
I like the idea that another bigger predator then came and tried to get both of them.
Like a brown bear just came out of the woods all suddenly and just jumped on her.
Yeah, just like gradually got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Exactly. Yeah, then, just out of nowhere, just a great white shark appeared. She said that the hawk apparently came at her 4 times before it managed to get hold of the snake and fly away. Photos shared with KBRC appear to show deep cuts and bruises on Jones' blooded right forearm following the attack.
Lovely.
Jones said her husband took her to the emergency room after he heard her screaming and ran to her aid. I was yelling and screaming. He said he didn't know what I was saying. I thought I was bit by a snake. No snake bite was found, but Jones said that she did find what appeared to be a snake venom on her glasses, which were damaged during the incident. Apparently, she said it wasn't her first encounter with a snake. She apparently had survived being bitten by a serpent a few years ago.
Sorry. What an ending. Right, okay. Yeah, great. Okay, Rob, before we get to our listener story of the week, you have another story for us.
Yes. So this is from the Daily Record. The date of the story, so I haven't read this for a while. It goes back to July. It's 24th of July by Sarah Vesti and Paul Keogh. The headline is, Dad who can't stop farting after eating ham roll 5 years ago sues Christmas market for £200.
He can't stop farting after eating a ham roll 5 years ago.
Yes, that's correct, Alex.
And he sued the market where he bought it. Have you got any proof that this ham... I don't think any item of food can cause 5 years worth of farting.
I think that's fair.
About?
Yeah, it's a good point.
Right.
So, a dad who claims he hasn't been able to stop farting after eating a ham roll at a Christmas market 5 years ago has launched a £200,000 compensation claim.
I thought you said a £200.
It does say
200,000.
In the title, it does say £200, but in the article it says £200,000 compensation case. Yeah,
is this person all right?
I would argue not. So Tyrone Prade believes he has suffered a severe and life-changing injury after scoffing the festive ham hock sandwich at Birmingham's Frankfurt Christmas market in December 2017.
This is Birmingham, is it? There's your first mistake.
So the 26-year-old believes he suffered from serious stomach issues, including chronic flatulence, after contracting salmonella, which left him bedbound for 5 weeks. So he was poisoned by the sandwich, which then has led to chronic flatulence.
His guts never recovered, Rob.
Yeah, exactly. The Mirror reports...
to be fair, I went away to Greece and I got sick on my last sort of 2 days, and I'm still a bit all over the place since. My stomach hasn't quite adjusted to normal. But I'm not sure I would go back and say, you can't prove where it started. So you can't go just random willy-nilly suing people for £200,000, although this is giving me some ideas, I'll be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. So apparently the Mirror reports that Mr. Praise is also allegedly kept awake at night by churning noises coming from his belly and wants Frankfurt Christmas market to pay damages.
Frankfurt Christmas market in Birmingham.
I think it's a company called that call themselves the Frankfurt Christmas, because you know obviously London has Christmas markets, has like German Christmas markets at Christmas, obviously, and I think it was a similar.
Do they just sell a lot of Frankfurters? Is that what they do?
Well, I would imagine so. Yeah, but it'll be. You must have been to the Christmas markets. You must have been to like Winter Wonderland, surely.
Yeah, of course I have. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, it'd be like Frankfurters, like German hot dogs, like steins of beer, that kind of shit. However, the company denies blame and claims there was no salmonella found at the salmonella bacteria at the ham hock store. So apparently, yeah, he lives in Chippenham and went to the market back in December 2017. Within 24 hours, he was ill, suffering from stomach cramps, fever, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, stated his lawyer, Robert Parkin. He was bedbound for 5 weeks and remained ill for months, being described by a medic 7 months later as noticeably pale, very thin and tired.
just from some dodgy ham?
Yeah, apparently so.
Can it do that? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why paramedics saw him and then described him as noticeably pale and very thin and tired, but apparently so. The claimant began to return to life as normal during 2019, but continues to feel lethargic and suffer from bouts of diarrhea and similar complaints. The symptoms are primarily fatigue and altered bowel function associated with churning with his abdomen and flatulence.
I guess imagine, like, as the weeks and months go by, he's like, I swear it's a ham sandwich.
I think he just blames everything on that.
Bloody ham sandwich, yeah.
Yeah, his wife leaves him, ham sandwich. Children fuck off, ham sandwich.
Okay.
Mr. Prade, who runs a flooring company, has also suffered from chronic...
Irrelevant, absolutely irrelevant.
Has also suffered from... No, it is absolutely irrelevant. We don't need to know that. We don't need to know who runs a flooring company. It's not relevant. Who runs a flooring business has also suffered from chronic flatulence syndrome and eye problems, causing his vision to become blurred, so he needs glasses when reading. The extent of the symptoms have been life-changing. All because he ate a ham sandwich, Alex.
How did it affect his eyes? Okay, but anyway, okay.
I don't know. However, the company is defending Mr. Prey's allegations, disputed that he was infected by the salmonella bacteria, and also questioned the size of his claim, Their barrister, Peter Davies, said Birmingham City Council Environmental Health Officer had attended the store to do tests, but no salmonella was found, only the presence of E. coli on a knife. Not sure that's better. Look, mate, there's no fucking salmonella. It's just E. coli, okay? Get it right.
It just... yeah.
And Mr. Paisley had not claimed he suffered from E. coli infection, so apparently that was absolutely fine. Anyway, the case continues.
Oh, keep us updated, Rob. I really, really want to know. Okay, so now we move on, Rob, to our listener story of the week. What do you got? Who's it from? So this week it is from Steve. It is from one of your favourite news sources, Alex, the uk.news.yahoo.com. The story is from the 24th of August by Andrea Vogt. Might have pronounced that incorrectly, but anyway. The headline is, and it's extraordinary, hotel served half-naked woman covered in chocolate with dessert buffet. Woman served half-naked woman covered in chocolate buffet.
Hotel served half-naked woman covered in chocolate with dessert buffet. So they served a dessert buffet which had a half-naked woman covered in chocolate on it.
That still isn't clear to me from the headline. I'm very confused. I will listen back to the headline again in the edit.
Okay, fine.
I thought you were saying they served a woman who was half naked.
Yes, she was on she was part of the buffet. That's correct. Yes.
No, I thought they served the buffet to the half naked woman.
Oh no, she was served as part of the buffet. She not to be eaten. She was more decorative.
Where was this?
Sardinia.
Okay, next holiday destination. Good.
yeah. So, a 4-star resort in Sardinia has apologised after serving a bikini-clad employee on a buffet, on a dessert buffet for guests.
Sorry, so were they allowed to eat? Were they allowed to? Well, I mean, were they allowed to? Okay.
No, she was more of a centerpiece, Alex, I believe. So, yeah.
Right.
Okay. So the Voi Colonna Village, an elegant hotel and resort overlooking the Bay of Oranges in northwest Sardinia, asked a female employee to be drenched in chocolate and lie still for half an hour along the dessert items.
What's the problem with that?
Exactly. She's being paid. What's wrong with that? That is obviously satire. Federico Mazzari was on holiday with a 40-year-old daughter at the time who complained that the display was disgusting. Mr. Mazzari said he asked to speak with the hotel management, but was fobbed off by staff who insisted the female employee was merely a chocolate statue.
Sorry, they said she wasn't real?
Yes.
They said, no, it's just a chocolate statue. She's blinking.
I mean, look, if you've been found out, you may as well try and... it's like the guy we had the other week.
The thing is with the... No, sorry, Rob, I was just going to say, the thing is with being drenched in chocolate, if it sounds great on paper, but it can come across as two ways. Did she look like a woman in a bikini drenched in chocolate, or did it look like a dirty protest?
Maybe you need to see the picture. If you, I think.
Oh, Rob did not tell me there was a picture. Hang on a minute. What shall I stick into my search engine, Rob?
Yeah, so the hotel guest took a picture. Oh God, this could be tricky. Maybe hotel half naked woman chocolate and buffet. Hopefully that should do it. It is. There's only one picture.
Or get me some very interesting pornography. Okay, I've got the Daily Mail version. Whoa, that does look like a dirty protest, Rob. It looks like she's there covered in shit. No?
It is. I mean, it is utterly batshit.
I'm looking at a picture of a round table with lots of kind of small desserts on it, and she is lying on. There's a woman lying like in a fetal position on a towel, which is rested up on what looks like a bed of pineapples. She's lying there with a bikini on and looks like she's just drenched in shit.
Yes. So just to continue the quote.
By the way, the fact that Italian guests were upset over this means it must have been very upsetting.
Sure. So apparently the tourist posted this to his LinkedIn profile, which seems like a strange place to put it, but that's fine. So he said, last night after a beautiful day, which many people worked hard to ensure that many guests had a carefree day, I was speechless to see this scene. A poolside dessert buffet on a table with a girl in a swimsuit covered in chocolate laying around the pastries. After the first moment of dismay, I asked myself, Voi Hotel stands for true Italian hospitality. What does it mean? Mr. Mazzari pointed out that the hotel prides itself on a family atmosphere on its website. How can such behaviours exist in the structures where the woman of a body, an employee, is considered equal to a dish just to satisfy someone's wandering eyes?
Wait, Rob, wait. I feel like, having looked at the picture, that they were doing the display and they thought it just looked a bit shit because there actually aren't a lot of desserts on there. They're quite small. It just doesn't work on that table. And somebody said it's just not working. It looks shit. We need something to beef this up. And they said, what about you, pointing to this woman, why don't you lie in the middle of a table on a bed of pineapples on a towel in a bikini and we'll just throw chocolate over you? Somebody actually came up with that idea and went, let's go with that.
I think you're absolutely right, Alex. Yeah. And in no stage as they were pouring chocolate onto this poor employee who was, semi-naked, did they think, actually, this probably isn't the best idea. I mean, it's the equivalent of, going to Harvester, for example, and seeing, Sharon from the front desk
out back. Yeah.
In a bikini covered in corn,
bacon.
Yeah. Whatever salad items that
gravy.
Gravy, yeah, covered, painted with gravy to sell their 5-course dinner or something like that. I mean, Harvest obviously just do a 5-course dinner, but maybe it's advertising their Sunday roasts. I mean, it's delightful, obviously.
What the fuck is a 5-course dinner?
Well, it's the dinner of 5 courses, Alex.
There's a starter, a main, dessert. What are these others?
What about an aperitif, for example, or it could be an amuse-bouche.
What the fuck?
These are all things. Cheese board. Hello?
Is that the end of the... Rob, is that the end of the episode?
Yeah. It's just me naming different potential courses. I think that might be the end of it.
Thank you for listening, everybody, to episode 406. I do come back for episode 407. We can be found on our website, LAPodcast.net. From there, remember, you can download all of our previous episodes, and if you donate, there's a PayPal button on that website. If you donate to this podcast, leave us a tip, a rolling donation, you get access to all the LA Podcast Extra Jab episodes we did when we actually started a Patreon, which we disbanded due to the cost of living crisis. But basically, that has over 40 extra episodes there, and if you donate to us, Rob will email you a private link where you can actually get access to all of those and other content that we've done. So, and that's for as little as £1, but obviously if you can donate more, we'd appreciate it. Helps keep this podcast afloat. We're going to be back in a week's time with episode 406. Very much to seeing you all then. God bless.
And keep it local.